Welcome back to the next session of electrostatics. Friends, in the last class we discussed about the electric field produced by the electric dipole on the axial line or on the axis of a dipole. Suppose if I place the point P on the equatorial line of electric dipole, what will be the electric field at that particular point? Let us discuss. Before discussing, then here the heading is written electric field due to dipole on the equatorial line of a dipole. So as usual, consider the dipole at the center. So here plus Q is there, here this side minus Q is there, dipole center O is there. Next, point A, point B. So next is the distance, this distance is A, this distance is again A, so all together to A. Then dipole moment vector P, don't forget to draw, so this dipole moment vector A. So after drawing this dipole, again describe the same thing. Consider an electric dipole consisting of two equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance to A. Stop. Then the dipole moment vector P is equal to 2A into Q into P cap. Say equation number 1. After writing this, our next job is to placing the point P on the equatorial line of a dipole. So now here I am considering the point P at a distance of R from the dipole center. Please keep it in mind, from the dipole center. From the dipole center, I am considering the point P at a distance of R from the dipole center O. So this is the distance. So at a distance of R from the dipole center O. So now, after considering the point P at a distance of R from the dipole center P, join AP and BP. If I join AP and BP, I'll get this is AP and this is BP. Then point P is here. Next I am writing the point P here. Now using the Pythagorean relation, I have to calculate what is the value of AP and BP, because I want to calculate what is the electric field at a point P due to plus Q as well as minus Q. For that, in triangle AOP and BOP, AOP and BOP, triangle BOP, use Pythagorean relation because the value of AP and BP both are equal. So now AP square is equal to BP square is equal to R square plus A square, and if I take square root on both sides, I'll get AP is equal to BP is equal to R square plus A square raised to 1 by 2. Very, very important term it is. After this, I have to write what is the electric field at point P due to plus Q and due to minus Q. Again, it's termed as E plus and E minus. The electric field at the point P, the electric field at P due to plus Q is, I will write E plus E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q divided by AP square, that is equal to into that is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q divided by AP square means what? R square plus A square. That's it. Similarly, if I write the electric field at a point P due to minus Q, the electric field at P due to minus Q is E minus is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by BP square. that is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into q divided by bp square is again r square plus a square. R square plus a square. Friends, if I denote the direction for electric field E plus and E minus, it goes like this. Look at this. Since the charge is positive here, we know that the electric field is radially outward. Hence, at point P, E plus goes like this, straight line. This is E plus. Similarly, if I take negative charge, if source charge is negative, the electric field is radially inward, then it comes like this. This is E minus. But I want to calculate the electric field, that is resultant electric field due to this electric dipole at point P. But if you look at these directions of the electric field E plus and E minus, both are acting in the different directions. If both are acting in the different directions, but that means what, I have to get a resultant electric field. Then if I want to get the resultant electric field due to E plus and E minus, I have to resolve the components. I have to resolve E plus and into its constituents components as perpendicular component and parallel component. Perpendicular component and parallel component. Suppose if I resolve E plus into its respective component, that is, it will become, this becomes E plus sine theta, then this becomes E plus cos theta. You may ask, where is the theta? Because it subtends an angle theta, the point P subtends an angle theta at point A and point B. So this is E plus sine theta and this is E plus cos theta. Similarly, if I resolve E minus into perpendicular component and parallel component, then this is the direction of the perpendicular component, that is E minus sine theta, and this becomes E minus cos theta. This is the direction of the resultant electric field. Look at it here. Two components are there. Perpendicular component, that is E plus sine theta and E minus sine theta. Before taking sine theta, just only consider the magnitude of E plus and E plus. E minus. E plus value is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by AP square. E minus is also 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by R square plus A square. Both are having same value. Look at this. At a point P acting in the opposite direction. That means what? Two quantities are there. Vector quantities are there. They are equal in magnitude but opposite in the direction. Hence, they cancel each other. So that means we are neglecting, or they are cancelling, we are nullifying the effect of E plus sin theta and E minus sin theta at a point P. But if you take the parallel components, that is E plus cos theta and E minus cos theta, both are acting in the same direction, hence they add up. Therefore, the resultant electric field at a point P is very important. The resultant electric field at P is E is equal to, this vector E is equal to E plus cos theta plus E minus cos theta. Now here I have to write the vector quantity, that is P vector. So this is the P with minus sign. Again, why minus sign? Look at this. The resultant electric field is going in this direction and the dipole is going in this direction. Both are in the opposite direction. Hence, I have to use minus sign here. Afterwards, cos theta is common. Take it outside. So if I take it outside, then I'll get vector E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q divided by R square plus A square plus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q divided by R square plus A square into cos theta into minus P cap. Look at this, both are having same value. That means there are two times. Become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square plus a square, 2 times is there, so it will become 2 times. So now I will preserve this equation for time being, then I will define what is cos theta in this equation. Suppose if I define cos theta here, then I will get E is equal to, vector E is equal to 2 times of 2q divided by, in clear manner, in clear way. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2q divided by r square plus a square into cos theta into minus p cap. Then from triangle, you can take any one triangle, from triangle AOP, cos theta is equal to, then just simply defining the cos theta, it is a by r square. So what is cos theta here? Adjacent by hypotenuse, that is AO divided by AP. The value of AO is A, and the value of AP is r square plus a square raised to 1 by 2. Substitute this value, cos theta value, in the above equation. So we will get vector E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2q divided by r square plus a square into a divided by r square plus a square raised to 1 by 2 into minus p cap. After this, just a rearrangement of the terms. We just rearrange, we get the equation. Vector E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, just rearrange, 2 into A into Q divided by r square plus a square. Look at this, bases are same, here index is 1, here is 1 by 2, then if I add, then it become 3 by 2 into minus p cap. And finally, look at this, to the equation 1, now here I have to use equation 1 as we used in the previous case. 2a into q is nothing but what? P. So just I am replacing this product 2a into q by equation number 1, that is P. And for short dipole or small dipole, for short dipole, R is very much greater than A, since I am getting the value of A square in the denominator. So finally I will get vector E is equal to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2a into q replaced by p divided by, so a square is neglected, so if I neglect a square, it becomes a r square raised to 3 by 2, 2 get cancelled, so finally it is simply r cube into minus p cap, and finally plus I have taken outside, no, so it is plus p cap into p cap. Look at this, vector E is equal to minus taken outside, minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 2a is replaced by p, then for short dipole a square is neglected, simplify, get r cube into p cap. This will be the resultant electric field at the point P on the equatorial line of a dipole. What I did here, simply first I consider the dipole, then I describe about the dipole by writing the dipole moment equation. After writing the dipole moment equation, I consider point P. At a point P, distance of r from the dipole center, so OP is equal to r. Join AP and PP. Using Pythagorean relation, calculate the value of AP and PP because they are very important in the further derivation. So after arriving at the value of AP square and BP square, then write the value of AP and BP too. Then calculate the electric field at point P due to the electric field at point P due to plus Q and minus Q. Then both the vector quantities are acting in the different directions, then means I have to resolve into perpendicular and parallel components. So if I resolve the perpendicular component and parallel component, so both the perpendicular components are going to cancel each other because of equal magnitude in opposite direction, and the parallel components are acting in the same direction, hence they add up. So then I have added. Minus sign, why I have taken minus sign means here the direction of the electric field and the direction of the dipole moment both are in the opposite direction. That is why I mentioned here minus p. Simplify, then substitute the value of cos theta using the triangle here, then using the triangle EOP or BOP, anyone. Then substitute and simplify, and you will get the answer. Vector E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube into p cap. So now friends, these are the two important cases. In the present case, if you look at this equation, And if you just recall the electric field due to the uh, point charge, what will be the discussion? Let us see here. So if there is only a single charge, say plus q, let me remove this diagram too, so that will be more useful for our discussion. So let me write three equations here. So first equation is, if there is only plus q charge is there, then the electric field equation is given by electric field E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. That means I want to calculate what is the electric field at distance of r from source charge q. Suppose if I take a dipole on the equatorial line, then due to dipole, there are two cases are there. Due to dipole, A and B are there. That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, vector E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2p by r cube into p cap. If I take another case, vector E is equal to 1 minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into p by r cube into p cap. Time being, if you consider the constants, forget about that. Q is, here also charge is there, here also charge is there, here charge is there. But charge is written here. It is 2A into Q, is 2 into Q is there. But if you look at this denominator, in the first case it is 1 by r square, second case is 1 by r cube, and third case also 1 by r cube. So this is one part, this is another part. This is about dipole and this is about a point charge. Look at this. If you want to calculate the electric field at a point or at a distance of r from a point charge, the electric field varies as square, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. That is reciprocal of square of the distance. But if it comes to the dipole, it varies as cube of. In both the cases, this is 1 by r cube, 1 by r cube is same. So that is why it varies as 1 by r cube and 1 by r. That is means cube of the distance between the point P and the either of the charges from the dipole center of the electric dipole. So this is one important topic discussion about the electric field due to point charge as well as the electric dipole. Then based on this charges and its behavior and the distance between the point charges, we are broadly classifying the point charges or the dipoles as polar dielectrics, that is polar, non-polar and polar dielectrics, and that plays very important role in the next chapter that will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.